Everybody loves a bonus, and that's exactly what the May family got this year. The first week in February, about the time the season ends in North Alabama, we get excited because we get a little bonus. We get to come down to Southeast Alabama and hunt just a little bit more to end our season. They've opened up some of the southeastern counties for just a little bit more hunting into February. We got off to a slow start this morning. Didn't get going before sunrise, but it turned out to be great. Susan and Henderson both got their first deer of the year, and we're excited to share it with you. I was really looking forward to these hunts because it was all family time. My wife Susan and I had only hunted together a couple of times this year because she had been busy helping out after the arrival of our second grandchild. Adeline Claire White was born on November 21st, and we were so thrilled. Now at the end of the season, things had settled down some, and Susan was hoping to harvest her first deer of the season. Things had been slow the evening before. I enjoyed the scenery and the wildlife, but I never saw any deer. As for Susan's hunt the next morning, things started slow, and I was wondering if the morning was going to be a bust. But somewhere around mid-morning, I finally spotted a deer, and Susan was about to enter the game. I thought I never would get to hear her .243 fire off because Susan was afraid the deer was too small. Listen closely and you'll also hear our son Henderson take a shot way off in the distance.
It's actually working up a little closer. If you don't do weight on it, I think it'll give you an even better shot. That's not bad right there. Yeah, I think so. Whenever you just let me know what you're wanting to do. That deer's not that small, Susan. It's good eating size, Susan. It's up to you. If you don't want to shoot that deer, you don't have to, but that deer's not a fawn. That's a decent deer. It's up to you. Do you want to claim one? Yes, I do. It's up to you. Just go behind the shoulder. You let me know what you're going to do.
What do you think? Is she ever going to shoot?
I'd take whatever I could get today. You dropped it. You dropped her on the spot. You dropped her. You dropped her. How does that feel to you?
It feels good. I was hoping a bug would come out behind it.
Well, you never know. We may do that yet, too. All right, you're on the board. You're on the board. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Shake it.
I'm so proud of you.
We came in a little late because I was getting ready, and the sun had actually, well, the sun wasn't up, but day was breaking whenever we got here. Nothing happened for a long time, and then we heard 3 shots. So that may have been our son shooting at something. I don't know. We'll have to check on that. But a little while later, a doe was walking down the road here and crossed over in the field, and I took a shot. So we'll go down in a minute and see what we got. She went right down on the spot when I took a shot. There she is. Tracks all over this field. There it is. Uh-oh. This isn't a doe. It's a little button buck. But it went right down on the spot. I'm thankful for him. Surprise! It has been such an exciting morning. We just loaded up the button buck that I took, and now we're going over to check on Henderson's old 6-point.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh yeah, you know it.
Well, I think every deer hunter somewhere along the way has harvested a buck, thinking it was a doe. But old Woo Woo was about to show us an unmistakable buck with a 17-inch inside spread. Henderson was on the ground looking to see if he had hit a doe that he had shot at a little earlier, and the lucky dog walked up on a buck and shot him at 10 yards.
There was about 4 bucks behind him, couldn't tell what they were. They were all making their little grunt calls. And he was right up there when I shot him. I was kneeling down about like this, and he came out behind those little bushes right there, and I shot him right there. So we'll go see if we can find some blood. Here's some blood right here. There's some blood. There's some more. There he is. Nice old 6-point. Yep. He's got something wrong with his eye right here. On this side. Got a little something on him. Not sure what it is. Yep, I shot him about 10 yards on the ground. I was about 10 yards from him. And this was maybe 15 or 20 yards from where I shot him.
It's pretty good to go after a doe and end up getting a buck, isn't it?
Sure is. Yep, it's still rutting time down here.
Tennessee. I think every father will tell you that the most treasured memories they have in deer hunting are the memories they have of hunting with their children. Nothing gets better than seeing your children harvest a good buck. As I watch Henderson hold the rack of this nice buck, I think back to when he was just 9 years old and he harvested his very first one, a 6-point. And as I look at him, I think, boy, he sure is growing fast. The song is right. Don't blink. Life goes faster than you think.
That right there is what we like. We like to get old Trooper in on the action. He loves carrying deer out of the woods.
Woo, woo, woo. Oh yeah, you know it.
Henderson had stumbled over a spot on the property where there were so many signs of deer. I couldn't help but beg my way into sitting there the final morning. It was a beautiful place with woods behind me and cut over in front of me. It didn't take too long before a small buck came down the exact same path as Henderson's buck. This time, I wasn't looking through a viewfinder, and I could easily tell that I needed to let this one walk. And even though I didn't shoot, this deer gave me the very thing that has always kept me coming to the woods. Just listen to the crunch as this deer comes right under my stand and has no idea that I have entered his world until he catches my scent downwind. This, folks, is why I hunt. It's a rush. Uh-oh, he's about to bird dog me. There was a bit of sadness as I watched him run off because it also signaled that my season was over. If only I could stay a few more days. But hey, that's okay. We had a blast. Literally. And if God is willing, it will roll around again.
We're so glad the season is extended in South Alabama. We got to do a little later hunt in the year, and God provided food for us again. Glad you got to join us on the hunt. Join us for more devotionals and videos at woodstoword.com. That's not a doe. That's a little button buck. Whoops, sorry, don't get that part.
Things started slow, but we got off into